Namaste and welcome to Times Health Plus. I am Ms. Vinita Sakpal, a senior nutritionist and a yoga teacher from the Yoga Institute, here to guide you all again on the new series of our Heal Yourself Naturally with 4 lifestyle pillars. Okay, सबसे पहले everyone happy Dhanteras. We have started with the Diwalis, all the rituals. So it's a good start to with the beautiful topic that we are going to learn today, which is about stress. Okay, so if you remember, there are 4 lifestyle pillars. We are learning each pillars in detail since longer time. We have finished up with the sleep pillar. Now we are on a stress pillar, and today it's the last session of the stress pillar. Okay, next session will be the third pillar that we'll be talking about, which will be hydration. Okay, now to proceed ahead with our today's topic, let me tell you it's going to be little interesting, little intense also. So certain things will be more understandable by the end of the session. Okay, so we'll try to understand today's topic more in detail, but in a very good gradual way. Okay, so today's topic is about sleep and addictions. Okay, so if we talk about addictions, of course one thing comes directly in our mind is all about substance abuse, right? The drugs, the smoking, the alcohol consumption. But let's understand the addiction word more deeply today from scientific perspective. Okay, सबसे पहले everyone, good morning, namaste. Glad that you have joined and you have taken this initiative to learn multiple things about the health and lifestyle. So let's see what we are going to learn today in detail. Number one is about the addiction. What is addiction? How stress is actually related to addictions. Okay, then the effect of these addictions, which is usually because of the stress that is induced, and how to break these cycle. And then we'll also understand certain tools, the practical tools to manage these all stress induced addictions, and of course certain daily habits. And as we end the sessions with the task of the week, so we very beautiful task of the week will be introduced to you all by the end of today's session. Okay, fine, let's proceed ahead with what is addiction. So when we talk about addiction, what do you think, how this addiction usually happens? Can you write in comment section, according to you, the word addiction means what, and usually how we end up into this addictions? Chalo, let's see how many of you emphasize on multiple types of the word, basically addiction into normal life. Let's see how you give a definition to this. Write your answers in comment section. Okay, my sessions are always very interactive. I want people to talk more, to put their own queries more, because that's how you will learn a lot. When we ask, because of your questions, even others will learn, right? So put your answers into the comment section and tell me that what do you think, what this addiction word means to you accordingly. Chalo, quickly, I want quick answers. Okay, so let me just tell in a very short that when we talk about addiction, we think that something that we repetitively do it. Okay, we repetitively do it and it end up into a habit, into a behavioral pattern, right? Okay, so there's one comment has come. Addiction is merely distraction. Very nice, very nice, very nice. You have related these terms. So actually addictions are like a distraction for from something. From what? From majorly that is bothering you continuously. That is stress. Can't live without it. Absolutely, addictions are something that you know that it's harmful for your body, but still you cannot live without it, right? I want more. I want more. If anybody can participate and write their own understanding of addiction, please do write in the comment section. Very nice brief words and statements you have coming up with. So let's see what scientifically we say about addiction. So addiction is basically anything that we repetitively do. It is a behavioral pattern that we do repetitively, or it's a substance that we consume repetitively in spite of we knowing that this is something which is harmful for my body. Okay, so we end up into a habit that that sustains with us for longer duration, even though it is harming your body physically, mentally, or emotionally, right? So addiction is not just about the uh, substance like alcohol, tobacco, or drugs, but it's also a behavioral pattern. Okay, so there are two types of addiction. One is the substance, another is the behavioral. So in behavioral pattern, usually people who are having certain sort of emotional imbalance or stress, they will end up either having overeating, okay, eating extra amount of food at wrong timing, binge eating, or anybody who gets addicted to social media, okay, anybody who is getting addicted to gaming, okay, or the one who loves spending money by doing shoppings, right? So this is all behavioral addictions that is seen into an individual. So we cannot just say that a person who takes certain substance is addicted to particular things. We can also say that a person who is doing some wrong things unknowingly, repetitively, and if that is harming your body, your mind, and your emotional patterns, then even that is an addiction. Okay, let's see, a few more things have come. Uncontrollable habit, very nicely said, Suchita ji. Then even Sarika ji says harmful habit, yes. Ananya ji says the thing which comes to your mind, you can't resist yourself from doing that, and it comes to your habit, absolutely. So this is a cycle. Gradually we will start with one thing, and then we will keep on doing it because we start loving it, right? And therefore this habit unknowingly, it starts forming, and within no time we become addicted to that particular thing, right? So that's very nicely mentioned, Ananya ji. Very good statements you have mentioned. Now let's see how stress is related to addiction. Okay, so what happens over here basically, when when a person is undergoing a chronic stress. What do you mean by chronic stress? A stress that is bothering you since longer years, okay, continuously for 6 months, 1 month, 2 years, there is this overthinking, there is certain thing that is bothering you continuously, that is called as chronic stress. Now your brain is very smart. He wants little relief from this sort of chronic stress. So to make it relief, to find that comfort zone, the brain will want to have something or do something that will distract that emotion, particular chronic stress, and will make you feel happy. Okay, so to find that distraction, your body, your brain will look for something like a comfort food, or maybe something that will give a relief to that brain waves. Okay, so in that form, in that process, we will either overeat, we will eat a lot of sugary items, we will eat something like a junk food, or we will engage ourselves into gamings or shoppings, or even social media scrolling continuously, that even there is no notification on your mobile phone, still you will go and grab the phone and look into Instagram and Facebook and many more platforms, right? So when you do that, how do you feel? You get the temporary relief from what you were thinking before. So when brain understands that when your body is in a chronic state, and when you do something which makes you feel better, then your brain will put this as an habit, will make it like an habit. Why? Because when you do something that will make you feel comfort and relief, that time, during that whole process, a dopamine is released in your brain. Okay, dopamine is a chemical which makes you feel good, which makes you feel happy. So whenever a chronic stress is developed in your surrounding, in your in your day to day life, therefore your brain is very smart to switch on to something that will make you comfort, so you'll choose that particular thing, and you will feel happy because dopamine is released. So this pattern, the cycle will keep on happening. You are stressful, you will eat it, you will end up in a guilt again, because you're guilt, stressful, eat something or do some addictions, and then you will end up in a guilt. Okay, so this cycle is continuously happening, and that's how stress is related to addictions. Okay, fine, let's proceed ahead. What are the common stress related addictions? Okay, so Can you all tell me that what do you think? What usually are the triggers for your addictions? Or have you noticed somebody that who is addicted to something a lot, even though you notice that that person is really harming his body or his mind? But so those kind of examples you can give me in a comment section. Let's see. Sometimes even we are under certain addiction and we are unable to notice that, right? So if now if you can remember something regarding yourself or you have seen somebody, please write it down in the comment section. So let's see. Every individual, if you see, every individual is going under some sort of stress, and that stress is leading to some sort of addictions. Okay, few people will overeat, few people will do some sort of substance abuse. So have you noticed anybody so far? You can write it in the comment section. Okay. And when we see some people who is addicted to certain things, we often try our best to counsel that person or give suggestion to that person, but somehow that person is unable to come out of that addictions, right? So that we are going to understand today, that how to realize that trigger and come out of that addiction cycle. Okay, now let's see. So common stress triggers are, number one is of course food. Everyone since childhood has created a memory with the food, yes or no? We always, if we talk about childhood is history, we always remember that we used to eat pani puri, so how happy we used to feel. We used to eat a cake or an ice cream, how happy we used to feel. Or some sort of namkeen, and how happy you used to feel. So those all memories are already stored in our brain since childhood, right? In a dormant state. So whenever you are under a stress and you're not feeling good, your brain will remember those all memories which have made you feel happy, to release that dopamine and divert your mind, right? So that time this overeating pattern starts. Okay, and we don't focus on our mind, we focus on our senses, what we think, what we usually think of about the memories and everything, and therefore we end up indulging in some sort of episodes of overeating. Okay, and in you during this overeating pattern, usually we will end up with sugars or junk foods. Okay, because that is heavy in nature, high in sugar, high in oil, high in salt, which gives you very instant energy. Okay, temporary relief, and you feel energetic and you forget what you were worrying about, right? But this is again something which is temporary. Later on you will again get triggered by something and stress will be aggravated. Okay, fine. Let's see. Somebody has said stress and loneliness led me to watching some or the other sports a lot. Exactly. So anything that we do excess will always related is always related to stress. Okay, so a very nice observation you have done to on your own self, that whenever that person is under a stress, he end up watching something extra for extra hours. And when we do extra, it has an impact on our body itself, right? Our eyes are getting strained, your body is not in the right posture, you will feel tired, fatigue, low in energy, muscle pains. So these are like side effects of these all addictions. Okay, so I'll surely give you a good understanding about how to overcome these all sort of episodes in next slides. Fine, there is one more who has said, I have a life problem. My 14-year-old nephew lost his mother in January. He did not explode at that point of time, but he has totally stopped to study for his coming boards. Now this is something he is grieving. Okay, so grief is some sort of thing which differs from one person to another, and the duration also differs. As you said, he has not expressed his emotions at that time, so it's everything is stored inside that particular individual, and it will take time to become that open. So it's good that he's not addicted to something, he has just stopped studying. He will take some time to reach to that point of view where he have to understand that boards are important and this is how life is and we have to continue and move on. If of course it will take a lot of time, but the only one thing you can do, you have to keep on talking to that person. More he release out all his pain, more he'll feel lighter and he'll think more broadly. Okay, of course his age is very younger to understand these all things. Let's go very gradual. Do not put a lot of pressure on him. I understand boards are important, but it's not the ultimate thing of our life, right? So do encourage him to study, do encourage him to engage himself into some hobbies, or talk to that person more vigorously, continuously keep updates about that individual. That's how he'll be able to feel that connected and he'll feel that somebody is always there to look after him like his mother. Okay, fine. Let's move ahead. Chandraveer Singh ji says overthinking, chest tightness, consistent thinking, kuch tha na ho jaye. Yes, consistently when we think about future, about something that has not even happened in our life, even those are sort of stress that makes us feel very overwhelmed, very fearful, right? And we end up doing some sort of things that will release that kind of emotions. Okay, fine. Somebody says watches the phone, eats, sleeps, and absolutely refuses to study, fights with all, and we are all so worried. I understand now he's in a condition where everyone's eyes is on him, right? So he's feeling very, he might be feeling very a person who's been like a targeted kind of. So let it's okay, it will take a lot of time to get out of that grief, but as I said, continuously communicating with that person, being with him around, not always giving advices will help him in this stage. Okay, fine. So there's one more thing. The whole day's anxiety will remain, chest tightness and feeling all the time in a hurry. Understood. So this is how our body reacts under a chronic stress. See, stress is good in some amount to do the work more productively. Okay, but certain stress that keeps on bothering us at longer duration without any solutions, and when you know that you don't know what future is going to be and still worrying about it, this is something that we need to bring into control. Okay, by diverting our mind into right things. Okay, so number one stress related things we have seen is the food, wrong eating patterns. Number two is people opt for alcohol and smoking. They feel very relaxed after having these all things, but that is again a temporary relief. Later on again stress will come, again they'll end up having these things. Okay, number three, social media, a lot of gaming. People find escape mechanism through this. So that time they release a lot of dopamine because they see number of reels, people are enjoying their life and everything, and they also laugh around it. So just to release their stress, they end up into social media and gaming. Number three is shopping, impulse spending. So your it's different kind of you can say vibe that they share with themselves by doing ending up into shopping or impulse spending, because they feel very relaxed that it's okay, whatever happens will happen, kind of attitude was developed. So that sort of things you will see in people who is chronically stressed. And lastly is the gambling thing. Now this is like a thrill thing because they don't know what's going to be next, so they just like challenges. These few people are one who likes the challenges a lot, so they end up into gambling things. So these are five triggers, or you can see addictions that gradually happens in individual life, and within no time they don't realize that they are actually addicted to these all things. Okay, so now how, when they end up into these all addictions, it do have certain effect on our body on all the level, not only physical. Physically, yes, few people who end up eating too much food or skip the meals, they will either gain weight or lose their weight because they are continuously eating a lot of food. The food is getting digested, a lot of energy is being used to digest that heavy meals. Then you feel tired, lethargic throughout the day, or even if you skip meals, lack of water, you will feel tired, fatigued, right? And because of this wrong eating patterns, it will of course affect your heart issues. Okay, then mentally also we are not being that uh, stable, because anxiety, depression, irritability will all constantly be there in such kind of people. How you'll understand this? Because if you see a person who is addicted, who doesn't get that particular thing for certain period of time because of so and so reason, that person will immediately become irritated, right? So why this sort of behavioral pattern happens in this person? Because they are constantly finding some dependency. Addictions are like dependency, that without it I cannot live, sort of that. Okay, so that's the reason mental issues happen. They do not find a person to be dependent on, they find a substance or a behavioral pattern to be dependent on. Okay, lastly is a behavioral pattern. They will isolate themselves from the crowd. They feel no one understands themselves, and therefore that person will isolate. Number two is procrastinate. One become very lazy. They will think it's okay if I don't do today, let me do this tomorrow, I'm unable to focus today. So they will keep on procrastinating their daily task. And lastly, because of these addictions, it will surely have an effect on the relationships. Because if you are constantly being irritated, suddenly being sad, or suddenly being reactive, this will of course create an impact on the relationships. Okay, so this is how, because of that one addiction, we are we are just making our body undergoing a lot of turmoils, not only physically but mentally and behaviorally also. Okay, fine. Now let's see how to recognize this pattern. Now if a person is already addicted to something and he doesn't know that it's an addiction, it's very important to analyze that something is a trigger to get into the addictions, right? So that we are going to understand now. We have to learn to recognize the patterns more effectively. Number 1, what you have to do is you have to always ask question to yourself. Then and then only you will get the right understanding about how you doing well in terms of addictions, whether your body is actually addicted to something or it's just a temporary relief and it will go off. Okay, if you want to understand these patterns that is unknowingly happening, number 1, you have to ask, when I feel stress, what do I automatically reach for? If I am stressed, do I eat more? If I am stressed, do I scroll the phone's social media a lot? Or if I am stressed, do I end up taking a lot of alcohol or cigarettes? You have to ask this question first. Once you analyze that what is your trigger, then you have to feel. Then you have to ask yourself that whenever I do this, how do I feel? Do I feel ashamed? Do I feel guilty? Do I feel happy for a while, but later on I get guilt about it? So, whatever you feel post that addiction, you have to even note that down. Okay. And number three is, do I need more of it each time to feel better? This will give you an understanding whether you are becoming dependent on that one thing or not. Okay, so these three questions, when you ask to yourself on a leisure time, whenever you sit with your own self, your me time, and you ask this three question to yourself and you get the answer for this three question, this is the first step towards the awareness to about your own body, own mind. Okay, so what happens usually is we are indulged into our daily lifestyle, materialistic so much that we do not get time to sit with our own self and go inward and find the answers, like, or to analyze your own body and mind. We do not get that amount of time. So to bring that kind of awareness, you really have to give at least 5 minutes of a day to your own self, only with your own self, to sit and ask few questions. Specifically, if it's about addiction, these three questions or something will really help you to give you an understanding then how you're proceeding ahead in your healthy lifestyle. Okay, once you understand that these are the triggers and this is something that is taking a toll on my body, automatically you will start to change certain things into lifestyle. But first step is awareness. Okay, fine. Let's see, next is about how to break that cycle of addiction. As I have said before, that we first get stress, then we'll, to release the stress, we'll take any one habit, and after that one habit, then we will be guilty about it. Because you are guilty, again you will end up into stress, then again you will eat something to feel better, again the guilt will happen. So to come out of this cycle, it's very important to, number one, as I said, awareness. We have to find the trigger. Okay. Number two is to substitute now that trigger. So whenever next time same episode happens, whenever you feel that chronic stress, instead of indulging into that addiction, indulge into something better and replace that for a while. At least for a one day you try it. Okay. When we substitute, automatically we feel better. Automatically the energy levels are different in our body, the aura of our body changes. Okay, the prana of the body will change. So in substitute, what all options are there? Number one is doing some sort of hobbies. See, whenever we do what we love, how is our mental state? We enjoy that process so much in that hobbies, while doing that hobbies, that we don't even think about any thought process. We don't even think about anything that is worrying us in our life. We are always in a happy mode, and we are enjoying that process while doing certain hobbies, whether it's an art, painting, drawing, or whether it's dance, singing, or learning some instrument, or pottery, or gardening the watering the garden, whatever it is. But choosing one hobby, or if you already have an hobby and doing that at least once a day, will really give you good relief from these all addictions. Okay. Or else you can do some exercise. What exercise does, when you do a lot of good amount of exercise, the sweat is released, right? So toxins are coming out. So that time you feel fresh, you feel rejuvenated, because all the bad things are coming out of your body through the breath, through the stress. Okay. And even when we do exercise, our mind is not in worry, we are enjoying that process, right? And post that, automatically we feel very refreshed. Okay. Even if you do the exercise for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes initially, it's fine, absolutely fine, but doing is must. Whenever you get that sort of trigger that now something is bothering my mind continuously, and you end up eating something, or you end up getting a craving, instead of going for the craving, do some exercise. Put something on a YouTube. It can be any sort of exercise, whether it's a home workout, strength training workout, whether it's a cardio, whether it's zumba, whatever you like. Put it on a YouTube and do it. Or if you know the yoga, doing yoga will really help to calm your mind, because it will activate the parasympathetic sympathetic nervous system. Okay. Or else you can practice some mindfulness. So what is mindfulness? That you being in the present. Okay. So being in present means, for example, you know something is continuously triggering you, so instead of focusing on that, focus on the work that you're doing currently completely. Or if you're eating your meals, keep all the focus on that meal and eat very gradually, chew it very slowly. Or doing some meditation, which will help to release all the energies, vigorous energy, and it will calm you down, right? So substituting your unhealthy habits at least one day or 2 days will give you very good understanding about your own health. Okay. Now number three, if substitution is also somehow not helping you out, number three is taking a support. Okay. Why support is important? Because when we keep things buried in our body since long time, in our mind since long time, one day it will come and burst it out in a wrong way, right? So instead of keeping inside it and making your internal body health unhealthy, it's better to take it out, either on a paper. Write all your emotions on a paper, release all the energies that are bothering you on a paper, and keep it aside. You will feel light. Or else talk to somebody, your loved ones, your friends, your family members. Or if even this is not helpful, go to professional. Going to professional is nothing wrong. It's nothing that you should feel ashamed about. Okay. Always seeking help is must, I would say. Why? Because we are never an expert into all the sectors, right, of our life. So it's important that to go to an expert who has already done some masters into this kind of field, so we'll get some understanding from that person, or that individual, and accordingly we can change our lifestyle. Okay. Taking help is nothing bad. Okay, and number 4 is about gradual change. See, whenever we want to change our habit or change our lifestyle, quick fixes will never help. Quick fixes will never help. Why? Because this will give you very temporary change. You will enjoy the temporary phase, but later on, when things again bounce back, then it will be like a bigger amount of stress for your body and your mind, right? So gradual change is something that will help to sustain it for lifelong, instead of going for quick fix. Let me give you very good simple example that currently that's happening in our generation is, people believe lot of things through what YouTube, that whatever comes through YouTube, right? They don't want to invest in experts, but they'll take same knowledge from the YouTube influencers or YouTube people who gives the knowledge, right? But even if you listen to them, you don't know what is the authenticity of that content. You know how scientific research has been done on whatever they are saying. And accordingly, just because everyone is following that sort of diet or anything, people will start following it. For example, I think that GM diet or intermittent fasting, these all things are good. You can try it out. Intermittent fasting is not bad, I say, but every individual is going to be suitable for that intermittent fasting. Do you know the hardcore rule that is important for the body? Do you know what is your body's prakriti? And according to prakriti, the intermittent fasting time changes. We don't know anything, but just because everyone is following, we fall into that trap and we follow the trend. Okay, and you might will get good results during 1 month, 2 month, or 3 month, but later on what happens, you become bored with that sort of routine, and you'll end up going back to the original routine, and what you will experience is rapid weight gain, right? So instead of going into vigorous or quick fixes, go very gradually. And gradual, during this gradual change, you have to be mindful also that if you are changing your habits or you replacing your bad habit with the positive habit, then automatically what change you see, get motivated by that change and try to keep that consistently. Then you will see a very good change in your addictions coming out of those things and living a normal healthy lifestyle. Okay, so how to break any sort of addictive cycle? Number 1 is awareness. Identify the triggers. Number 2 is substitute that addiction with some healthy options. Okay, number 3, take a support from anyone, whether it's loved one, family members, or a professional. Number 4, go for gradual change. Gradually enhance your lifestyle instead of doing vigorously. Okay, so these are all 4 steps that if you understand, you'll be able to apply in life. Okay, fine, let's proceed ahead. So I'm giving you a very beautiful tools that will help to manage your stress without addiction. So why addiction happens? Because we want to manage the stress, but ideally, uh, in stress, if we end up into addictions, that addiction will also end up giving you even more stress. It will not reduce your stress, it will even end up giving you more amount of stress, right? So instead of going into addictions, how to manage your stress, these are all tools. Number 1 is being mindful and meditation, and practicing meditations, because it calms our mind, and this reduces the cravings also because you're alert. And of course, the decision making power becomes better. Okay, your choices into everything, choice into right food, choice into taking spending your time into particular thing, or time into engaging yourself into some right substances compared to wrong substances. This is how you will become aware when you do mindfulness and meditations on regular basis. Okay, number 2 is exercising. So any sort of exercise, if you do, endorphins are released. This makes you to help reduce the stress from your body, your mind, everywhere. Okay, so from body, all the toxins are released from your breath and your sweat, and mentally you will become more calmer. Why? Because parasympathetic nervous system is getting activated post your exercise, so you feel very relaxed, calm, and settled. Okay, Number three is creative outlets, which means whichever hobbies you like, practice those things. So whether it's music, drawing, journaling, whatever you like, go for that. At least every day, giving 5 to 10 minutes to your hobby will be like helpful, or at least 15 minutes. Okay, you schedule your day only in such a way that that one thing is constantly there in your routine. Okay, if not every day, at least alternate days or at least on weekends is something you can start with. Okay, number three is social support. Talking to friends, family, or counselors will be helpful. Number four is time management and boundaries. So what does this mean is, this is very important, that if things are not happening within the time frame, or give in within the given deadlines, or what you have thought of that by this time I have to complete certain things, if that is not happening, somehow we end up becoming overwhelmed. So avoid those episodes, that over when you become that overwhelmed, or you get that fearful sort of emotions, then you become panic, and uh, you end up doing certain things very vigorously, and to calm that sort of stress, we end up taking some substance abuse or some behavioral addictions. Okay, so time management of your complete routine is important. If you know at this time I have to do these things, and the next time I have to do these things, automatically things will happen on time, and you will not end up putting yourself into stressful day. Okay, so these are how tools which happens to manage the stress. Okay, fine. Now let's understand the daily habits to prevent stress addictions. So apart from the indulgences, or apart from what tools we have learned so far, these are the daily lifestyle habits, I would say, that we have to focus upon a lot. When we fix these things more vigorously, automatically you will come out of those addictions. Your lifestyle will be much better. Number one is your sleep. If your sleep is haywire, if your sleep is not adequate, or you're not sleeping at right time, even that can lead to a lot of stress triggers. Okay, so sleeping for good 7 to 8 hours, specifically for adults. For children, of course, the hours are little more, but specifically for adults, 7 to 8 hours of sleep is must. But to get this 7 to 8 hours doesn't mean that you will sleep at any time and take 7 to 8 hours and get up late. No, you have to sleep by 10:30 or max 11. Why? Because from 10 o'clock till 2 a.m., your liver is becoming activated, super activated, because of which the detoxification of a body happens very vigorously during this slot. But this will only take place when you put your body in a sleeping mode. Then only liver will start functioning adequately. But if you sleep late, then your detoxification will not get carried that effectively, and your body toxins will stay in your uh, systems for longer duration, leading to inflammation later. Right, so that's the reason sleeping by 10:30 max 11 is must, so that you can get up by 6 to 7 in the morning, and when your day starts early, you feel that you have a longer day to manage your things more effectively. Okay, number 2 is having balanced meal. Why balanced meal is important? That even if you are missing some nutrients into your meals, somehow you will end up having a lot of cravings. If you skip any meals, you will end up having a lot of cravings, and in during that craving we will end up having wrong things at wrong time. Right, so to prevent these cravings and to prevent these kind of overeating or binge eating, we have to make sure that our major meals are well balanced. What do you mean by well balanced? Which have good amount of carbs, which have proteins compulsorily, which have 50% of vegetables into your diet, coming from salads and cooked subjis, and clubbing that with a probiotic in lunch. When you have these combinations in right way in your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and have a very light snacks in between by 4 p.m., if you manage these things consistently with equal time interval at right timings, automatically you will see your cravings are going down. Okay, and staying hydrated. So there is also one sort of misconception that happens from our side is, when our body is feeling thirsty, we think it's not thirst, it is hunger. and we end up having something wrong thing. So whenever a craving is coming, always first take a pause, take some one glass of water, wait for 10 to 15 minutes and see how your body is reacting. If your stomach is settled down, it means it was a thirst, it was not a hunger. Okay, so number 2 was this. Number 3 is move your body daily. More you vigorously move your body, more the fats will get mobilized, more the toxins will come out of your body, more you will be active and more energetic, you will be more alert also, right? So move your body doesn't mean that only doing exercises. It also means that keeping your body more active by doing certain task on regular basis. For example, if you want to drink water, instead of taking all bottle and sitting down at the desk, always make an effort to get up, go to the desired place, take one glass of water, come back and sit. So some movement has happened. Every 1 hour, get up from your desk, do small walking or stretches of your hands or necks, and you will feel little your stress has been released and you can again focus back on your work, right? Apart from this, if you get a call, get up while walking, attend the call, so your body is moving. More the movement, more you'll be out of that sedentary lifestyle. Okay, now and lastly is again practicing journaling. Mindfulness is must, because if you're mentally happy, then only your body will be physically happy. Okay, so making sure that whatever stress is there in your life, to understand it and work on it instead of just keep on adding more amount of stress and pondering on it. Okay, so these are all daily habits that you can incorporate, which will really help to come out of the stressful addictions. Okay, now depending upon today's session that we have talked so far, I have come up with very nice task of the week, which you have to practice for a week and let me know how do you feel. So the task is, you have to first identify one stressful trigger in your daily life. Okay, just find one stressful trigger, then each time that stress is coming, instead of ending up choosing the addictive thing, choose something healthier option. So replace your coping habit with a healthy habit. Okay, so once you do that, note it down and do share with us how do you feel about it. So I've given even one example, that if stress make you scroll your phone a lot, instead of scrolling during such stressful condition, keep your phone aside and go for a short walk or do a deep breathing. So this is how you find your ways to cope up with those stressful addictions, right? And if you do these things, you can surely tag us, Times Health Plus, on social media platforms and get a chance to win a wellness goodies. Okay, fine. So this was all for today. And do not forget to follow us on the social media platforms to get more insightful knowledge about everything health, nutrition, lifestyle tips. So let's get open to the Q&A session for today's topic. Okay, so multiple thing has come in the comment section. Let me see. Okay, the whole day anxiety will remain. Okay, that I have told that. Okay, there is one person who's saying, I'm a business person, I'm regular breathing exercise and yoga and meditation last 5 years, but can't able to handle my stress. Okay, so when you learn yoga or breathing exercise or meditation, you must have given one time to do these all things, right? So in that you have to do like every 1 hour of a complete day practicing these all things regularly, that is one of the must thing. But whenever the stress is triggering, applying those all things during that time is important. It's not something that you get up from the morning and just doing yoga, breathing, and pranayamas and meditation in the morning will help to cope up the stress that comes later time of day. No, whenever the stress come, that time applying those values is important. Like for example, you must have practiced in the morning, but by the evening end of the day there was something that happened bad in the workplace and you got stressful. During that time, instead of thinking so much about the stress and ending up into some wrong addictions, sit, do a deep breathing, or if you want to do meditation, you can do that 2 minutes meditation, or you can just do some stretches. or go for a brisk walk. Okay, so when you do these things during that particular time when stress for triggering you, then you will see a change in yourself. Okay, so try doing this thing and do let me know how do you feel about it. Okay, fine, let's see next. Okay, so you say because of these things, I end up taking alcohol and smoke, but still my health is all okay. So even if you feel like from outside you look very fine, internally it is like a poison for our body. Smoke, tobacco is like a poison, slow poison for our body. Alcohol is something which is like a slow poison for our body. So it initially you will not feel anything. The effect will always be seen later on with some bigger health issue. Okay, whether it's a diabetes, whether it's a lung issue, whether it's anything else that will trigger later in the age. So it's important to focus now and take a precautions and come out of that behavioral pattern, because somehow to balance that stress you are finding a coping mechanism. So instead of going into alcohol or smoking, replace it with some physical activity, I would say. The automatically you put some yoga aspects or read something yoga philosophy during the stressful time, you will surely feel different and energetic and be out of that stressful situation. Okay, fine. uh, Okay, so Ganesh ji asked what is probiotic food, or what are probiotic foods. So probiotic foods are all the fermented products, naturally made fermented products, which helps to release good gut bacteria for better digestion in our intestine. So these are all like curd, buttermilk, your idli, dosa, uttapam batter, but freshly made batter, not the leftovers. Kimchi, sauerkraut, instant pickles, kefir. These are all sources of probiotics. Okay, fine. Let's move ahead. Chandravirji says, hello, ma'am. I'm feeling anxious in every situation and feeling revenge. Okay. So, during such scenarios, first of all, you have to sit with yourself, put down your feelings, what you actually feeling about. And the revenge portion also, part also, you write it down. Why you want to take revenge for certain things. Now, see, there is a concept of pratipaksha bhavna in yoga. Okay. What does this mean is, during such negative scenarios where stress is bothering, or where something is eating you up internally, during such scenario, always find for some positive in this negative, right? Whatever this complete situation was negative, which was triggering your stress, instead of focusing on the bigger picture which is negative, find the smaller picture which is positive. Once you find a positive part from that situation, now you have to tell yourself that it's okay, even though these things have happened with me, but my life has given these all things and I'm happy about it, I'm contained about it. Automatically slight difference you will feel in yourself. I'll give you one example that, suppose a boss has yelled on you, and you felt really bad about it, and we feel little rageful that I want to leave this company, I don't want to work this person, and many more things. But instead of thinking about that one day how he has reacted on you, think about days when he must have appreciated you, or he must have helped you into something, or he must have rewarded you with something. If we remember that those days, automatically this negative part becomes less in front of that. Then how you will think that, okay, it's okay that he has yelled on me, there must be some mistake of mine, I need to find that mistake, that what could be the reason that he has behaved in such a way. Then once you find that reason, you will work on it. Okay, I was lacking with this thing, so now I have to work on it, and I'll show him that I'm capable in doing those things. So this is how a bigger scenario which was so negative, you making it more positive. Okay, then you will be able to deal this all situations. Okay, fine. And usually why anxious thing happen, because we always think about ahead. What if, what if things happen like this, what if that person do like this. Instead of thinking ahead what will happen, think about present, how I am doing it, whether my delivery of my work, my words, my thought process is positive or not. If you are if you're positive from within, if you're pure from within, nothing will trigger your body, nothing will trigger your energies. Okay, so that see where you are lacking into something, where you can polish yourself into. Okay, fine, let's proceed ahead. Madam, I'm suffering migraine due to gut issues and also duty and shift. Okay, so of course, everything is connected to our gut. Gut has 90% of immunity. So if your gut health is poor, if digestion is not happening that effectively, constant bloating or constipation or acidity or something, indigestion is happening, then it will affect the brain. First thing, it affects the brain. Why? Because brain and gut is directly connected to each other. Okay, there is a gut brain axis sitting in our body. So however is your gut health, similarly your thought process will be. If your emotions are going in a toss, then it will affect your digestion. So there is this direct connection with each other. So as you say, the migraine is happening, you have to really work on your gut health. And even if your gut health is poor, it will again make you feel stressful also. Why? Because most of the chemicals, the dopamine, the serotonin, which are happy, good feeling kind of chemicals, are all sitting in your gut. So if your gut health is healthy, then they will release very nicely. But if your gut health is poor, then they will not release properly. And the signal between your brain and gut will go haywire, because of which we feel stressful, right? So firstly, focus on your gut, eat on time, avoid the longer gaps, have a well balanced meal, hydrate very well, sleep on time, get up after 7 to 8 hours, exercise every day because it releases a lot of toxins from our mind, body, everywhere, right? So once you make your lifestyle better, your digestion will be healthy. Avoid all the processed outside sort of foods. Once in a while, it's absolutely fine, but on regular basis, have homemade meals, freshly prepared meals. That will really help to make your gut health better, and it will improvise your migraine, and accordingly it will help you in your working life also. Because if you are from here, you are mentally focused and you are relaxed, automatically your work will be done more effectively. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, Chandravir ji says, "Ma'am, are you giving online counseling?" So basically, I'm a nutritionist, so I have a diet clinic, and we give a proper diet consultation, and counseling is a part of it. As we believe that diet, when you do any sort of diet, other parameters are also equally important. We do fix the sleep, we do fix the stress, we do fix the lifestyle, like exercises and water intake and emotional wellness. When everything is properly being taken care of, then the diet will be effective for your body, right? So they are all interrelated to each other. So that's how holistic approach we do give from our clinic. So if you really want to have a complete lifestyle change from all the perspective, you can always consult to us. Okay, fine. Any more questions regarding today's topic? I know it was an intense topic. Addiction is something that's not so easy to come out of it, but with patience, with positivity, with all the understanding of your own behavior, being in present, you will surely see a good change coming in your lifestyle by applying all the tips that we have taught you today. Okay, so for today, that's it. If you have any queries related to how the counseling is required or anything, how to connect with us, you can always visit the website of the Yoga Institute. From there, we can connect. Okay, so that's all for today. Eat with awareness. I know it's Diwali, which is coming, and during this festival period only, we indulge into a lot of sweets and namkeens. So preferably eat one sweet at a time. Keep good gap between your major meals, and in between you can introduce your sweets. Again, smaller in portion. If you want to club sweets along with a meal, make sure your carbs are going out of the plate. Then only you can add the sweets into your meal. But preferably, I would say eating sweets best time is post lunch. Okay, after half an hour or so, because that time our stomach agni is at high, so your body will be able to digest the sweet more easily. Okay, so Yeah, enjoy this Diwali weekends, and have a good, wonderful weekend, and eat with all awareness. Take care. Do not overeat anything. Just be more mindful. Thank you and namaste.